Welcome back to the Spokane Convention Center, where we're knotted at 0-0 between the blue and yellow team. I'd like to remind you this event is being brought to you by HealthNet Federal Services Incorporated. I'm Ben Pearson here on xable.com, joined by Dave Fowler in a 0-0 match, so certainly it's been close. But what have you noticed from these teams so far, Dave?
Well, I called it pretty much right on. Both teams are very well matched. It's an even score. What I have noticed is the yellow team does seem to be putting what I'll call a full court press on the blue, keeping it at their end most of the time.
So similar to the basketball term, yellow been putting on the pressure full court, putting down the defensive clamps, and so far it's worked as blue has been unable to score. Led by number 12, Michael Brady, who is about to inbound it. They've had a few opportunities. As you see it go, the Frank Holmesley makes his first appearance in the game. Also making his first appearance for the blue team is number 5, James Lewis. Holmesley wastes no time to get into the action. And then Dave Smith. And the ball will go out of bounds. We'll go to yellow. On the floor for yellow, we have number 1, Dan Costin. Along with him is Frank Holmesley and James Luco.
Many of these players don't play on local club teams. Some do, some don't. This guy certainly does. Mike Brady. And so does this guy.
And Dave, so some of these players, they're playing year-round. Others, their only power soccer experiences here at the games. And a bit of it shows. You can definitely tell the players with a little more experience out there, namely Michael Brady and Dan Costin. But how is that as a teammate? You know, we mentioned earlier how your teams are just getting formed. How do you work with some of your players that don't have as much experience? How do you get them on the same page as you?
Well, you usually try to just work with them, talk to them, get them encouraged, show them how to play together as a team. We do have practices area beforehand where some of the more experienced players will work with people that only play this once a year.
Holmesley has a bit of a malfunction with his chair. He squares that away. As Costin will get things going again. And I think Holmesley has another malfunction as the blue team has the ball.
If that ball bounces out, could be trouble.
As Holmesley is stuck in midcourt.
Smith and Gray.
And nice save in the box there. With a little help from his coach, Frank Holmesley will rejoin his teammates.
This is Dave Smith's first time ever playing the game. He's doing really well.
Got a few players getting their first minutes of action right now.
Number 5 for Blue Down out there is James Lewis. Number 4 is Dave Smith. And of course, this is Mike Brady.
Dave Smith and James Lewis both check in for the first time. Brady sends it in. Blocked by Costin. A bit of a counterattack here. James Luco. Blue is able to recover on defense. And Blue now has Donald Plunkett back in goal as it replaces Roy Joy. And that will be a foul.
One of the other things we try to do to keep the teams pretty even is it's all done on a pool, and the people that run this sport for this event, they'll know who plays and who doesn't, and try to spread them out evenly amongst the other teams.
And this game certainly has been evenly matched thus far. Just about 5 minutes here into the second half. We're not at 0. Both teams have had a few goal-scoring opportunities, but nice play by both teams' goalkeepers has kept the ball out of the goal.
Sends it in. Ball's loose.
Looks like we have a goal kick there.
Donald Plunkett with a last-second save. It looked like it was just going to sneak in.
Nice save. There's Carl Harris. Carl Harris checks in for the Yellow team, coming in for James Luco.
Yoski, number 13, out on the goal. Double zeros for Blue. That's Bob Carpenter.
I was waiting for a few substitutions to get underway before we get started here. And the ref gives the go-ahead, and Brady will kick it off. Nice pass up there to Robert Carpenter. He's unable to control it, but Brady will get it back. The ref says play on. Miscommunication there between Harris and Costin. And Kaminsky will take advantage of it. Costin gets it right back. Brady and Costin once again going at it.
Those two have been going at it all night.
See there, Brady close, trying not to get too close there to avoid the 2-on-1 call. And the ball will go out of bounds with it being awarded yellow as Blue is going to make a substitution. They'll be sending in Stefan Bojuda. I apologize, I was saying his name wrong earlier.
So there'll be a new number orange in goal for Blue.
And he will take over in goal. About 7 minutes gone by here in the second half. The majority of this Power Soccer match is taking place today at the Spokane Convention Center. Tomorrow we'll have the consolation game, and then the championship game will take place on Friday at 8:30 here at the Spokane Convention Center.
Dan missed that one pretty bad.
Carpenter tries to clear it, but he kicks it out of bounds, and it will go back to yellow. Costa makes contact, but he sends it right into two Blue players. Carpenter.
Here comes Carl Harris.
Here comes Harris. Trying to find a teammate. Kaminsky over the Carpenter.
Good hit right there.
Carpenter gets jostled there a bit.
Again, that just shows how quick the refs are trying to stop anybody from getting hurt in this sport. When they hit like that, contact, it's not encouraged. There are just a few chairs out there.
Power soccer, not quite as physical as some of the quad rugby you've seen available on xable.com. Contact is, they try to avoid contact, and if you are going to contact, it has to be guard to guard. Can't hit from behind, can't hit from the side, and you cannot double team or trap the opposing player. Carl Harris breaks free. Michael Brady's going to get in his way. He will send it out of bounds, and the ball will be awarded to yellow. Carl Harris will try to tap it into his teammate Costin there in the backfield. Brady intercepts that pass. And the ball will roll out of bounds and will go back to yellow. So Blue will allow Harris to inbound it.
Bring it in now, Mike Brady.
Remember, you have to give him 5 meters to inbound it. Yellow's got to be careful of 2-on-1 call. And Costin and Carpenter battling for possession. Now it's Carl Harris.
And Carl ran it out of bounds.
And he will knock it out. Yellow coach is looking to make some substitutions. Entering the game now will be Nathaniel Jackson as he makes his first appearance in this match with just over 10 minutes left, midway through this second half of play.
So it's good he made it in right at the 10-minute mark. That'll give him his full 10 minutes. Frank Holmesley going out.
Holmesley will take a seat. Costin showing some speed out there. The ball will go out of bounds and Blue will control it. Ref blows his whistle. Seems to be a problem with Costin's chair. Costin from Phoenix, Arizona, Navy veteran.
There we
Also
go, got the
competing
chair
in
going again.
9-ball air guns, Power Chair 200 and the Slalom, as well as Power Soccer. And he's got his chair figured out. We will resume play here in this second half, just under 9 minutes remaining. Still no score in this, and Costin has a golden opportunity here.
There goes Carl pushing it through. Oh, he has an opportunity
They are
here.
trapped.
And a good save by Blue.
Finally, the ref will stop play, and it will be a corner kick for the yellow team.
That's a timeout.
Carl Harris will send it in. Blue team has to give him 5 yards. And
Looks
Brady,
like Brady's taking a break.
can he keep it in? Yes, he can.
Nice move by Brady. Now Carl Harris has to go to take over. Brady.
Harris will knock it off, but did it go off Brady? It did, so yellow will take it, get a kickoff from the sideline. And thank you for joining us here on xable.com. This broadcast of Power Soccer, which has also been brought to you by the HealthNet Federal Services Incorporated. As Costin locks up there with Kaminsky, Brady gets a piece of it, but he sends it towards the sideline, and it will roll out. So in the first half, after yellow controlled possession for most of the first half, since then it's been very evenly matched. So both teams have had some opportunities here, but have been unable to convert. Dave, we're still not at 0-0. What does respectively each team need to do to finally get the ball in the goal?
Well, I tell you, that's a tough call right now because they are so evenly matched. And with Mike Brady being in all the time and Dan Costner being in, they're pretty much control of the pace of this game.
Costin and Brady doing their part on both offense and defense. As yellow gave the ref an easy call there, as Harris and Nathaniel Jackson were double teaming Brady. So in the sport of power soccer, how often do you see a score of 0-0 at this point in the game?
Probably more often than you'd think. While we haven't seen many of it, like I said, we did tie the blue team 2-2 this morning. So looks like they're running that close to trying to get another tie again tonight.
While there's obviously some differences between power soccer and normal able-bodied soccer, there's still a lot of parallels that run with it. Quick passes, low scores.
They said there's a party in room 447. That's what they decided.
And instead of your legs getting tired, your battery can wear down in this.
I noticed a lot of the players were recharging their batteries right before the game so that they would have fresh juice.
10 minutes per game, and we don't have a computer over here, so we can't quite figure that out, it seems.
And blue will make a Substitution, switching the goalkeepers. Donald Plunkett will come back into the game.
Right now it gets difficult on the teams because they got to make sure that everybody does get their 10 minutes in, and they still want to maintain the strongest team as possible to break this tie.
Foul there on Costin. Hit Brady from the side. And it seems Brady and Costin have been locked up all night. And ultimately, it seems if anyone is going to finally get a goal for yellow or blue, it'll come down to Costin or Brady. So once again, they're going at it.
Little guard-to-guard contact there, unavoidable.
Looked like it was off yellow, but yellow's longer, so they got it.
You asked me earlier what I think it's going to take. I think it's just going to take a lucky fast break by one team or the other to get the ball in.
A lot of teams that haven't been able to work with much open space thus far. And certainly you'd think if a team can get a counterattack, give them a nice opportunity to convert. And to see Harris and Brady are locked up here.
Harris, Brady, James Lewis there, Costa, straight to him.
There goes Harris.
Harris.
Yellow's the loudest
Ref says hold on as
Quick adjustment.
Brady needs to get his foot in place. Carl Harris will send it in. Tells James Lewis to give him a little more space.
Here we go now.
And the ref's calling the foul there. Not quite sure what the call is yet. Looks like it's 2-on-1, and the blue team will get the free kick. Michael Brady will get it going for blue. He wants to have a quick word with David Smith. And then make another substitution with 0-0 Robert Carpenter coming into the game for James Lewis. 2:17 showing on the clock. There will be some stoppage time. But right now it looks like this game could head to a 0-0 deadlock.
The ball comes out right in front of us here.
So Davis, this game is winding down. Well, let's open up the talk discussion for the player of the game. Certainly it's most likely to come down to Brady and Costin, but assuming this game does end in a 0-0 tie, who do you like for player of the game?
I would have to say right now at this point, probably Mike Brady is player of the game. He seems to have been more consistent, done more saves, and been the offensive player of the game.
And on cue, Brady sends it. Goes off Costin. Blue will have a chance here.
Looks like Blue has an opportunity here. Oh, there we go. Mike Brady.
And just on command, Michael Brady is able to score just after Dave was giving him his recommendation for player of the game. And with just over a minute remaining, Michael Brady finally able to break the 0-0 deadlock as Blue takes the 1-0 lead.
That was a good assist by
Let's hear it for the Garlic Christian Alliance Church Blackburn.
0-0 on the blue team.
So let's see what Costa can do here. So Yellow is telling his goalkeeper to come up and join the offense. And Blue is in no rush here. As a lock up here.
So yep, got a little stuck. Ball got up there underneath one of the players.
Between Costin and Dave Smith. Not too much time remaining here in the second half of this power soccer match. Ben Pearson here along with Dave Fowler on xable.com. Carl Harris battling with Carpenter. Costin comes in to join the action. Brady says, I got it. Let's see if Yellow has one more offensive attack in them. Not if Mike Brady has anything to do with it, as Costin knocks it out. Can't be too much time remaining here.
I believe we're down in overtime with the penalty time or time taken from the ball going out, repairs on chairs, etc.
As Dave Smith calls time, calls the ref over.
Federal Services, we bring in power soccer to us this week.
Dave will come out, give an opportunity for Stefan Bojuda to check back in.
Volunteers, thank you.
And Brady's getting set to send it in.
And away they go.
Looking for Carpenter.
Brady and Justice.
But guess who's in the way? Costin. And Costin and Brady locking up once again. Costin has a man in the middle. Here comes Harris.
Got hit in the rear back there.
Costin got going a little too fast as he ran right into Bojuda. Yellow coach not happy about that call. And Blue will have a kick, and they have a chance to run this clock out as they hold a 1-0 lead with a late goal by Michael Brady. You gotta be careful for the 2-on-1 call here, and the ref sees it. Daniel Costin pointing out, giving his teammates directions on how they can get together a late goal here to tie it up. Carl Harris locking up with Brady. And Brady controls it. Now Carpenter comes up, gets a touch. Nathaniel Jackson running squarely into Michael Brady.
There goes Mike on the break.
Nice little move there.
Crosses it in front.
Can he finish?
A good opportunity.
On the ball,
good save by
out of
that
bounds.
goaltender.
And Blue will resume their possession. As Yellow wants to make a substitution, they will send in Michael Larson. He'll come in for Carl Harris.
Blue's trying to ensure this game right now, trying to stop Yellow from coming back, and by getting one more goal, I think Blue will just about sew it all up, but you just never know. And the Garrett's game.
And that will do it. The Blue team with the late goal by Michael Brady, able to pull out the 1-0 victory, bringing the record to 3-2. I'm Ben Pearson, and joining me tonight was Dave Fowler. I want to thank you for joining us here on xable.com for this broadcast of Power Soccer, which has also been brought to you by Health Net Federal Services Incorporated. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll have an interview with our player of the game, Michael Brady, the man who scored the lone goal of the match, and he's led the blue team to a 1-0 victory. Thank you for watching. This is xable.com.